diamonds. I want a girl who can sort a chest. I want a girl with shears that cut and swords that burn through zombie flesh. I want a girl who knows world generation, who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's modding her community. She's flying through the air. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. I want a girl who logs in early. I want a girl who plays till late. I want a girl with unobstructed creativity who uses a tripwire to ruin your day. With shulker boxes organized and lustrous in a tone that will torch you like desert grass. Who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. Whose shield is emblazoned. I want a girl with good enchantments. On some server we will meet incidentally. We'll start to talk as we shoot skeletons. She wants a spawn with biome convenience. She wants a spawn that's in good repair. She's changing her inn from wither to dragon. She's trading her archery for a trident that's self-repairing. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. Summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Down and dream. Lay your head down and lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind flow downstream. Sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight, y'all are my live streaming audience. I hope you are having a fantastic evening. You might not know it, but this is a special evening for a few reasons. For one thing, it is one of my staff members, NJ Coffee Junkie, my project manager. It is NJ's birthday tonight. NJ is doing a birthday charity stream benefiting the American Cancer Society. So we're going to be going ahead and raiding NJ and playing some Mario Kart in about an hour. before that, like, you know, I gotta do some work. This build is time consuming. It turns out building something this gigantic takes time. So what we are working on right now is trying to clear out enough space on either side and front and back to create a flying machine that will sweep the water off of this. I think that should be doable. Is it going to be easy? No. It's going to be time consuming. But it'll be more fun than sponging this entire ocean. I was able to borrow some sponges from Gem. Not all of her sponges, just 48. But that's enough to get us by for right now. Other server mates also need to use them. So we need to go ahead and actually kind of burn through these pretty quick. So that is one of the reasons. I originally was like, I'm going to do this part later. But it's like, Gem was like, when I asked about borrowing these, it's like some other people need them soon, but not yet. And I'm like, okay, so I either end up behind them in the queue, or we do this now. So I'm kind of just rushing ahead to do this now. So, yay. That's where we are at the moment. For those of you who caught Monday's HHH, you might have been a little disappointed we didn't get the World Eater fully running on camera during HHH. Some of us were able to record with Doc later that week, or this week, but the footage from that is all embargoed until after Doc's video goes live. So that is why I haven't published any of that yet, but I've got some great World Eater footage that I'm going to be posting on YouTube once that embargo is lifted. So keep an eye on my channel for that. Oh no. But I got to see his flying machine liquid sweepers in action, and I was like, okay, I gotta get me one of those. So yeah, that's part of the motivation here. Is sometimes I see another hermit doing some cool stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, I also have I bought some rockets from Impulse because at this point I need to get these sponges back to Gem more than I need to be fun. I think it's more fun using the trident, but for stuff where I'm holding up other hermits, I'm just going to go ahead and use the tools available. So I bought a box of rockets from Impulse in his rocket shop there that I can use for this project. Hello, tropical fish. I hope you do well. Good luck. Okay, so we're going to reclaim some of this sand here. Okay, also, let me make sure I've got the right Discord thing open. Okay. Let's see. Other stuff going on. Uh-oh, it's about to be nighttime. I was going to put a bed down here. Oh, good, I did do the thing I intended to do. Yeah, I have been kind of working... what happened to Doc's shulker? Well, I returned the one that I stole from Doc, and then he brought me a new one as a pet, and then it cloned itself. So now I have two shulkers, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them yet. I'm still brainstorming on that. Okay, so we were going to go this way. Yeah, that's right. We need to be sponging and using all the sponges as quickly as possible, so we can be a good community member and get them back to Gem. George Harris says, Doc tweeted 4 hours ago his video will post at his normal time. Okay, great. The thing is that I'm not going to schedule my video until after I see his go live, just in case anything goes wrong with his... Like, not that anything would, but, like, I've been doing YouTube long enough to know that just because you plan on something doesn't mean it's guaranteed. John R. asks, have I narrowed down a theme for the pinball machine? My goal is to figure that out over the course of the next month or so. I'm in no rush there. I have plenty of work that has to be done on this build. Oh, I need to sign up for Hermit Dares. That's one of the things I was going to record doing tonight. We're gonna work on clearing out more of this first, and then we'll record the Hermit Dares thing. I am definitely going to be signing up for Hermit Dares, though. Thank you for reminding me to mention that to everyone here. But I had not forgotten that I was going to do it for the next episode. So I need to... That's going to be kind of my outro for the episode. Hermit Tales. Okay. Uh-oh. The Guppy Geyser got broken by the Minecraft jar update to 1.18.2. It only works in 1.18.1, sadly. Dang it. Okay. Could I use a Guppy Geyser in the pinball machine? So the thing is, moving the shulkers over here would be difficult. So if I can think of an excuse to use the shulkers in the pinball machine, then I will, but I'm not going to commit to that until I figure out what it looks like. Okay. So, yeah, we have made it halfway over Sandwise on this side at least. I have had so many calls today, and I've been working on this kind of during some of them. Not all of them. Oh, one of my most exciting calls that I didn't really work on this during. I mean, I technically had this... I think I was at the spider farm AFKing because I needed to fix my elytra for part of it. But one of the calls I had earlier today was actually... So yeah, let's see. I had a hermit call. I had... the HermitCraft call today was only 2.5 hours. Yay! We got some fun stuff coming up. I came up, like, like sometimes a few of us will just be tossing around like a terrible idea. And then all of a sudden it's like somebody's like, well, what if you use, and then they name like a redstone component. Because like we'll start off being like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a mod that let you do this or something like that? And then we start talking about like, what would you say? Like, how would you describe the mod? Or is there an existing mod that we could pay somebody to amplify or change in some way? You know, and then it's like somebody else just all of a sudden is like, wait, what if you do it with something, you know, like this in redstone? You could just do it pure vanilla. And we're like, oh. So Pale of Pears says, have you considered using a sweeper machine to remove the water? Yeah, that's the plan. We need to clear enough space to build the sweeper. And to have it, like, the rest of the ocean not fill in. We need to hold back the rest of the ocean. Welcome, Catty Cake and Raiders. No, I haven't found the beef jerky yet, Fake Zircon. And I am not getting any more okay with it. So... let's see. Live chat. What is Joe making? I am making a giant scale pinball machine, Anastasia. There's the back box. This is the cabinet. There's the coin door with the coin slots, plunger plate, start button, flipper buttons. Did I at least get more beef jerky? No, I haven't been out shopping yet. I spent most of the day on the phone on calls. Which is one of the reasons I was able to make so much progress on this. But yeah, the most exciting of the calls was, well, the HermitCraft call was fun, but, and like I said, I'm excited that we came up with a fun redstone idea for something. But I don't want to spoil that. And it's not only, like, if it was only my idea, I would be like, oh yeah, here it is. But because a few of us collaborated on it, and it's something that we wouldn't have a chance to, like, get into a video for like a few weeks, it's not fair for me to be like, yeah, let me tell you this idea that's not mine, right? You know. So fun redstone idea from the HermitCraft call. But also outside of that, I had a call earlier with one of my moderators, Yurgi, who you might have seen here occasionally moderating Twitch streams, but is one of my Discord staff members as well, primarily. Or at least was primarily a Discord moderator. Now, Yurgi is going to be my first Minecraft server operator. We've got 4 servers I'm running on the Patreon right now. Only one of them is actually guaranteed as part of the Patreon membership. The other ones are just kind of bonus or experimental servers. Because, like, you know, when you have as many people active as I do, I like to have places that people can, like, log in and play that aren't always, like, the main flagship one. I feel like that's kind of a good way for people to just kind of... Like, sometimes it's nice to have a less populated place to go play, right? It's nice to have a nice, quiet Minecraft experience. It's not necessarily single player, but a little bit of a smaller, different experience. But, anyway, so I was talking to Yurgi, one of my Discord moderators, about accepting a permanent position as a server operator. Yurgi acted as kind of an emergency server operator for a few days when the new season of HermitCraft launched, and we also had some stuff going on where I needed active server operation work done on my Patreon server, and I was like, I don't have time to do this. Yurgi, you make mini games, you do server stuff all the time in other contexts. You know, can I hire you to do emergency server work for me? And Yurgi did a fantastic job, and I said, okay, cool. Once things settle down with HermitCraft and I kind of got stuff under control, I'd love to come back and talk about making this some sort of permanent thing. And so the way we're going to structure that is that the servers I run will each have, like, kind of a creative lead operator, and then other operators will act in a support role. So, like, the flagship vanilla SMP server, I'm the creative lead on. But if I'm away or busy or something like that, and there's some sort of server operation task that needs to be done, one of the other server operators can, you know, fill in to fix things as they come up. You know, they're not going to be making creative decisions for the server like, oh, maybe we should add this data pack or this mod or whatever. But they would, you know, help out in a pinch. I'm recreating the cabinet from Total Nuclear Annihilation, but the actual playfield I'm going to come up with custom. That's going to be one of my big projects for this season. But I'm not even picking a theme yet. I'm just working on the rough outline at this point. Well, I do a Bedrock server. Not at this time. I am not ready to take that on because it's... Bedrock servers have a lot of weird stuff about them still. It's just easier for me to stick with Java. Honestly, I'm pretty overextended in general, and so that's part of the point of hiring Yurgi to help me with this stuff, is that I want to focus on the core creative work I do and less on day-to-day operations stuff. I already said hi to Tango earlier, so I don't need to greet him again. But yeah, so I am super excited. Yurgi's designed a bunch of, like, weird Minecraft command block mini games and things like that in the past, and has been a great team member on my moderation staff now. For basically since the moderation staff existed, she was one of the first people hired. And so I am super excited that she's going to be taking on a more creative role, running at first what we're calling the Vanillish server. Because, like, the flagship server that I run that's, like, based on HermitCraft is kind of a pure vanilla jar. But some people wanted to have a server that had, like, things like the Armor Stands data pack and a few other things. So we're doing a server that's not quite a modded server. We have an experimental server we're doing, like, mods on. But, a server where we can run a few data packs like no Enderman griefing and armor stands and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And Yurgi's going to be creative lead on that, get feedback from the community about what data packs to use. It's going to be fun. Hey, we got a tip rolling in for 2 from Rotation. Thank you very much. That's going to put us 18 away from our first face camera expansion. Just so you know, PayPal's doing something weird. It's not posting the tip like messages or descriptions right now, and I don't know what's going on with PayPal right now. I'm gonna have to look into that. I tried to figure it out earlier today, and I kind of hit a wall and was like, either something's broken that they know is broken and are gonna fix, or I have to call support, and I really don't want to call support. So hopefully this is something that they know is broken and will fix on their own. So, okay. The donut's still there. It's pretty difficult to move an entire mountain. Okay. Cavman says pure vanilla is the easiest and probably most inclusive way to run a server, but slightly datas or lightly modded servers can be fun. Yeah, that's the thing, is there's a lot of folks who just really want that lightly modded experience. And so that's why I'm adding this vanillish server to the roster. Because right now the 4 servers I run are, I have a creative mode snapshot server called the Creative Snapshot Temp World, and every time a new snapshot jar comes out, I delete the world and it starts over. So that's like just a place for people to play with new features, not a thing where they would build or get a world download at the end or anything. We've got the flagship vanilla SMP server, which is called Deep Slate 9. And let's see, we've got the experimental server. We've got a few mods on that one, which is the point of the experimental server, to experiment with new technology. And then we've got the Everstorm server, which is what I consider kind of an interesting kind of playground server. It resets every 3 to 4 weeks, and basically the core concept is it's a hardcore world where the weather cycle is turned off. It's called the Everstorm server because it's continuously in a thunder and lightning storm in hardcore mode. And so people will go see what kind of stuff, what can they build before they die in that. And then we post obituaries in the community newsletter every week from the Everstorm server. And I'm doing some kind of different game rules and different stuff each time. Deep Slate 9 is Deep Slate 9 named after the Star Trek series. You know, NJ Coffee Junkie came up with that. You're gonna have to ask her at her birthday party stream, which is gonna start. Well, actually, she's technically streaming now, but we're gonna raid her in 48 minutes. No, 38 minutes. Wow. I better get a move on here. So, yeah, the Everstorm server, George Harris says, sounds both fun and frustrating. Well, the idea is that, you know, because it's a hardcore server that resets every 3 to 4 weeks, you can go in there and see how far you can get. And, you know, sometimes you might do well, sometimes you might not. But I can also experiment with, like, server-side mods briefly. So let's say that I have a new server-side mod that I wanted to test out, right? I could install it on the Everstorm server and then see how it impacts gameplay for the folks who play for that 3 to 4 weeks, but I'm not committed to having it on for a full season, you know? Wizard says, Everstorm like the Way of Kings. That's where I got the idea for the name. Yeah, I love The Way of Kings. It's a very good book. Well, or I don't know. It's a very enjoyable book to people with my mindset. I think it's such a weird book that there's a lot of people that might not like it. So I'm not going to tell you it's a perfect novel or anything. But I really enjoy The Way of Kings. And if you do too, then awesome. But, like, yeah. Brandon Sanderson makes a lot of very interesting choices with his writing that I feel like might hamper his ability to have broader appeal. But for the folks that it resonates with, it's like, oh man, this is the best. Please don't yell in all caps there, Scarlett. I'm glad you're enthusiastic, but take a second to read the rules, please. Can I not? But yeah. Kimberly Wright says, I can't conceive of somebody not liking Brian Sanderson. It doesn't compute. Well, the thing is that the more niche something is, a lot of times the more it'll resonate with the particular audience for it. But part of what makes something niche is that it's not for everybody, you know? So, like, the reasons you like the Stormlight books so much are like, oh, he does all these things that no one else does. And some people are going to be like, yeah, there's a reason no one else does them. And other people are like, why doesn't everybody do this? Oh my gosh. Right? Howdy, old prod. So yeah. Brandon Sanderson is definitely a little bit niche. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Pat Rothfuss myself. We actually had him on stream to promote his charity a few months back. That was really fun. Sanderson gets really into complex magic systems, and he also writes extremely long books. So if you don't like a whole bunch of magic systems and very long books, you're not going to like them. I'm just going to be honest. Like, there's some people who are like, nah, man, just give me Hemingway, you know? It's like 120 pages of a guy in a boat, and it's still too long. You know, but yeah, some people just aren't gonna like the way he writes, and that's fine. Not every, like, authors don't try to make things that are for everybody. I mean, or at least they shouldn't try, because they're not gonna succeed anyway. Frozen Weevil says, I don't really like the type of magic he writes. It doesn't have to really make sense. It's fantasy. Yeah, that's the thing. So Sanderson writes his fantasy almost like it's science fiction, where everything has very elaborate systems that have to be internally consistent. And then he explores the weird edge cases of those systems. And that's like a very engineering, sci-fi heavy approach to magic. Like, in some ways, magic is more fun when it's Discworld-esque, and it's just like, you know, whatever is the best joke, you know? Yeah, Mistborn was another Sanderson book. Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's a bad writer. I'm saying that, like, the way he writes is not going to have... I understand that the reasons I like it are the reasons other people might hate it. Wizards of Doc says, while I prefer that kind of internal consistency, a lot of what he writes is too dark for my current mental health state. Yeah, that's totally fair. You know, you gotta kind of figure out where you are and what you're looking for. Cavman says, I got obsessed with Banks a while back and have been devouring his stuff. Yeah, Banks' stuff is very interesting. Banks wrote a series of novels called the Culture series, and I don't know what, like, I don't know how... I'm bad at evaluating whether or not something is good, for the most part. I can usually tell, is this interesting to me in a way that will make it less interesting to other people? Is whatever I love about this likely to make other people kind of like, why would someone write this, right? And I feel like Banks, obviously, you know, he's well recognized in the sci-fi community, but, like, I don't think that I would say his work has universal or broad appeal. Like... His Greatness says, I took a break mid-Brandon Sanderson book to read a different book. They're good, just too long to one-shot for me. No, that's fair. Warbreaker was, I think, the first Brandon Sanderson book I read, and I really liked it. It stands on its own pretty well. It's relatively short compared to a lot of his books, but there are, like... There's some, like, uncomfortable, like, forced marriage stuff in there. So it's not going to be for everybody. Or, I don't know if it's a forced marriage. It's like an arranged marriage. But there's some uncomfortable newlywed scenes, let's say, in there. That, you know, if you're fine with that, you're fine with that. But if you're like, I mean, it was definitely, when I was reading, I was like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable. Like, I don't know that it wasn't like, it wasn't to the point where I was like, okay, I have to put this down. But I was just kind of like, okay. That was the only thing in there that I was kind of like, I mean, I guess if you're trying to, make it clear that arranged marriages are not so good, you're making that point in a way that's not necessarily gratuitous, but it's like awkward. Grace Winder says, I've been meaning to ask Joe's opinion on Banks. Yeah, so the Culture series, which is what Banks writes, is a very strange sci-fi series compared to, like, a lot of modern stuff. It's... Server's gonna restart in 1 minute, so it's a bad time to do anything risky. Let's just lay our heads down and dream. Make sure when the server restarts that nobody's getting attacked by a mob. But yeah, so the Culture series is really weird because it's about a civilization that's so advanced that all of the other civilizations they interact with, they have to conceal their true technological level from. And so it's interesting because a lot of the characters in... If you like con artist stories, you would probably enjoy... If you like con artist or spy stories, you would probably like the Culture books. Because the premise is that there's this society that's so advanced that every other society they interact with, for the most part, they have to conceal their tech level. And so they have to pretend that they're only, like, slightly more advanced than the people they're interacting with, but they're constantly, like... so it's one of those things, like, the people they're interacting with know, like, oh yeah, these guys have some cool tech, but it's like, no, these people are basically gods, but they're pretending that they only have cool tech, if that makes any sense. But the thing is, they do have real constraints, too. Some of their constraints are ethical, because they're trying not to break the other societies that they interact with. But some of their constraints are technical, like, they can't actually be multiple places simultaneously. Terraspan says, kind of like Wakanda in the Marvel universe. I don't know if that's a good... Like, because Wakanda is still basically... Spider-Nom says it sounds kind of more like the Eternals. I mean... Yeah, it's kind of like, let's say that we ran into a planet full of cavemen, and we pretended that we had, like, Viking technology, and we're from an island far away on the planet, and our ship had blown off course, rather than saying, hey, we flew here in a spaceship. It's like that, except they're interacting with civilizations that have spaceships and faster-than-light technology. Because it's like, the Culture also has faster-than-light technology, but it has different, way better faster-than-light technology. Like, everything that everyone else has, the Culture has, like, a stupidly better version of it. Right? And so they're constantly having to conceal how good their tech is and do all these dumb things. It's called the Culture series. It's by Banks. Not Banksy, just Banks. This reminds me, my friend and I were writing a story once about, like, a god who was pretending to be a normal person. And, like, the problem is, when you have a character that's, like, a god, and they're pretending to be a mortal, they don't actually know what the real limitations of mortals are, because they've never actually been one. And so one of the jokes we had was that in the story, the god was on an escalator, and the escalator broke down. And they're just standing there for, like, going, like, even though this machine has broken down, I could simply continue to walk up it, but that would reveal my true might. And so what would a human do? What would a mortal do in this situation, stranded halfway between parts of a structure? And they're like panicking, and like because they don't know that they could just walk up the stairs, right? The broken escalator is now stairs, and a god can walk up the stairs without betraying they're a god, but how would they know that? You know what I mean? And so the culture... Novatora says it sounds like something Clark Kent would do. Well, Clark Kent at least, like, grew up surrounded by humans. He didn't, like, live an immortal life for thousands or for millennia and then pretend to live among the mortals. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's, I forget where I was going with this. But, yeah, it's interesting. The culture books have a lot of, like, really interesting scenarios where people who are wildly mismatched are trying to cooperate in interesting ways, I'll say. Dang it. Okay, we'll toss 3 in there. Well, let's just toss all these in there. Wizard of Doc says if you're taking other people's opinions, Banks always reads to me like he's trying to prove he's slightly smarter than the reader, and I don't like that. That's interesting. I mean, I now that you say that, I think I could see why you would say that, but I didn't get that impression when I read it. I didn't. That wasn't, like, a gut feeling I had. Okay. Cabman says, I agree with that criticism. There's a bit of smug in some parts of his writing. Fair enough. And, I will say, like, I wasn't necessarily reading his books critically. I was just, because, like, some people here who are commenting, like, Wizard of Docs is a technical writer. Like, as a professional writer, you might read things more critically than I do. Like, I'm just like, oh, this will be fun. Okay, so we do have some gravel here, not a ton. We're gonna have to go get more sand at some point. Dragon Magpie says, that brings to mind the comic where Clark Kent gets kidnapped by the Joker and has to guess how a normal human would react to being hit by a giant mallet. Okay. That's actually a really good gag. Okay, that's okay. I didn't know that existed, but that's actually pretty interesting. That's now I'm gonna have to look that one up. Okay. That sounds cool. Oh, I'm not saying it's bad that these people are reading more critically than me. I'm just saying, like, it's entirely plausible to me that this stuff might be there and I just didn't notice it. Because I'm not reading that, I'm not reading in that way. Hey, Wittershins. The New Adventures of Lois and Clark. Clark has to pretend to get shot and killed. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so we are using rockets for this project because I owe Gemini Tay a bunch of sponges and we need to use them quickly. I say I owe them to her. They're hers. I need to return them because other hermits are waiting in a queue for them. Okay, so we're gonna mark this for replay mod. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 ba dum. Dun na 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 na. Bum ba dum ba dum bum bum. Just a quick reminder, in about today is NJ Coffee Junkie's birthday, and so in about 20 minutes we are going to be raiding NJ so I can join her on voice and play Mario Kart with her and the rest of the crew. She's doing a birthday charity stream benefiting the American Cancer Society, so I hope that y'all will consider supporting that, because that would really make her birthday. Okay. Dang it. Why didn't I bring... I have a tool for this. Dragon Magpie says, why did I get a second stream notification? I don't know. I haven't crossed the streams or anything. Danny C says, when do we get a 1 hour non-chill stream? So sometimes, Danny, when I have an editing night ahead of me, and I'm like, I need to spend 4 hours editing after I ended the stream, I'll chug a Red Bull before the stream, and I'll say, it's a 1 hour hype stream, we need to record the last 5 minutes of footage that I need to finish this episode, and then we, That's weird. Did my internet get interrupted? Oh, that's very strange. Yeah, I'm seeing that I just got an indication that, yeah, apparently the stream was interrupted. Okay, so are we still live on YouTube? Are we down entirely? Hold on. Something's going on here. No? Okay. Well, that's strange. So YouTube saw an interrupt too, it looks like. Because otherwise it wouldn't have... Apparently it posted a VOD of the first half of the stream just now. So YouTube apparently didn't go down, but somehow also decided that the stream had ended and posted a VOD of it. What is this, vaudeville? Most people are saying that they noticed no interruption, but George Harris saw one. Okay. Well... Okay. So, yeah, YouTube wants to micromanage the streams now, apparently. Oh well. La da 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 da. Ba da ba da bum bum bum. M. Lowe says, that looks really nice at night. Thank you. Should I relog for replay mod? No, because I'm just gonna do a static camera. If I was doing a dynamic camera, I would have to, but that's not really worth it because we only have 20 minutes left. So let's just pop that open. Boom. Do I have to drain the whole perimeter? Yeah, I have to drain the outside, Danny, and then I'm going to try and build a flying machine. I've got rockets. Yay. Oh wait, that was a mistake because that one's still active. How much space is needed on the perimeter? So on the front, I might need to do another pass, so I need to build the flying machines and the dock that like lowers them. On the sides, I don't think I actually need this much space, but this is kind of like at the point where you're making these, you like this 3x3 squares is actually kind of just the optimal grid pattern. DJ Rachel says, "Are you gonna build the flying machine on stream when the time comes?" Maybe. I don't know. If it depends. Okay, so we seem to have fallen there. Let's try and get back up that way. Yeah, redstone on camera is often not a good mix. Would dropping some slabbages on your ocean with one piece of sand on top be better? I don't know what that means. Is that like a cabbage made of slabs? Okay, if you show up and your first message is one of the words in your name, I'm going to assume you're a spammer. If your entire first message on the thing is one of the nouns in your name rather than a greeting or anything else, that's just, yeah, you're going to go. We can't figure out who would pay you to promote that product, but I'm going to assume that you're a paid spammer. James Bumblelow says, "Why did you want to build in the ocean?" Because I'm building all the way to build height. This pinball machine is very tall, and this was the lowest place I could build. Also, I like the idea of the pinball machine rising up out of the ocean. So I'm using the rockets today because I need to give the sponges back soon. And so I said that this season I'm going to try and use the trident more because it's more fun, but I'm not going to do so at the detriment of other hermits. And right now there's other hermits who are waiting to use these sponges. So I need to get this knocked out in a few days. It's not like, oh no, I got to do an all-nighter type of thing, but like there's some people who are going to want to use these early next week. And so as a courtesy, I should try to, you know, move faster. Hey, good luck with your, congrats on your interview there, Triforce. Okay. Am I a pinball wizard? No, I'm more like a pinball sorcerer. Newtless Live says, "Is there a specific pinball machine you're basing the design after, or are you making one up yourself?" I'm going to come up with the playfield design and theme of the machine myself. I'm basing the cabinet measurements off of Total Nuclear Annihilation because of its height. It works very well with the Minecraft build height in 1.18.2. And the rest of the... Basically, this is the optimal machine to have go to world height and take up exactly 2 maps. Albrecht says, "Were you able to make it into a minigame?" I'm not ready to make anything into a minigame. I'm trying to make a base. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're excited, Cosmo. Yep, we do these streams 6 times a week, so... Oh no, I'm running out of food. Yeah, I'm a charisma-based pinballer, not an intelligence-based pinballer. Pinball rogues are dex-based. Also pinball bards, which you would think that would be charisma, but let's see. We wanted to come over here and get more food. Oh, we're running really low on food. Yeah, let's run on back to my house real quick. Yeah, Total Nuclear Annihilation is the pinball machine that I'm renting. I'm actually going to be streaming with a guest tomorrow night. Scott Denisi, the creator of Total Nuclear Annihilation, is going to be joining me via Discord call to talk about the game while I play it and creativity. He's also a musician. He made all the music in the game. So we'll talk about his musical process and some other stuff too. Am I not talking to... And then I don't know what that whatever emoji you use doesn't show up in my browser. So I don't know if I'm talking to that thing or not. But yeah, if y'all want to see the new shulker, I put a sign here. Shulker exhibit temporarily relocated up the ladder. Because yeah, the shulker, we got it moved into here. And then it shot itself. And now we have two. Pinball Barbarian. Pinball Barian. Yeah, there's something there. Okay. Don't forget, Jev is selling pork chops. Yeah, maybe we should just go buy some pork chops from Jev because we... Okay. Does he have a ender chest in here? 4 stacks equals 1 diamond. I think that there was an ender chest over here. Oh no, I left my wallet back there. My plan was just to get food out of my house. We have food in the kitchen. Albrecht says, internet is lagging, sorry. Would you be offended if I kept donations for the NJ stream? Well, because I'm promoting NJ's charity stream, which starts in 9 minutes, you might notice that I haven't been posting my PayPal link today, which is why we've only got $2 in tips. No, I've gone out of my way to not compete with NJ's charity stream. I didn't want to call attention to that, but since you're asking if I'm okay with you waiting to tip NJ, or to donate to the American Cancer Society instead of tipping me, yeah, we have food at home. Food at home is carrots and spider eyes and literally clay. Yeah, that's fine. Gonna go eat my carrots. Beetroot. It's nice since the camera's so small I don't have to feel self-conscious about rubbing my eyes. Yay. Ethan Stifles tips 3, who says, "Hey Joe, good vibes have been bestowed upon you." Oh, thank you, Ethan. That's going to put us 15 away from the next face camera expansion, which would be our first. But either way, yeah. Okay, so let's go find... Let's go find a bed and lay down our heads and dream. No, okay, no, I'm good. I'm awake. Okay, what were we doing? Something with shulkers? No, something with sponges and sand. That's right. Yeah, I'm very excited about those 2 shulkers. I haven't figured out yet what I'm going to do with them. Part of me wants to move one or both of them to the pinball machine. Like, leave one in the haunted house and have one of them over here. I was thinking, I don't know if there's a minecart on the sweeper design, but it'd be kind of cute to have one of the shulkers riding in a minecart on the sweeper. but I think it would get targeted by the Guardians, and I don't know that that's a good mix. Like, Axia Evie says, it's always disappointing to see 1 hour chill stream and then started 55 minutes ago. Well, here's the thing, is the reason we're doing a short stream tonight is it is my project manager NJ Coffee Junkie's birthday tonight, and NJ is doing a charity stream that I'm going to be participating in. Starting in about 5 minutes, I'm going to be playing Mario Kart on voice chat with NJ and other friends. And so we are going to be raiding NJ and then hanging out over there. So even though I'm ending my stream, so I'm not competing with her event, you can still hang out and watch that. I'm going to post the Twitch link to that when we do the raid. JKA says, would moving the shulker through the nether be faster or a worse idea? Honestly, I don't know at this point, because it's really close on the whole. It's not very far, even in the overworld. Also, if I build a flying machine to move it over here in, I get to practice in moving a flying machine. And that's like smaller than the one that I would be using for the sweeper, right? So there's an angle there. That's interesting to pursue, right? Moving it through the nether would be hard. Okay. Gotcha. I believe you. I don't know a lot about moving these things, honestly. Okay. I've just moved them within one dimension. A wizard says, what about a pinball machine based on popular pinball machines? My daughter actually suggested that, but the problem is I couldn't get the rights. I don't want to do anything I can't get the rights to as the theme. And one of the challenges there is that anything that would be a good pinball theme that you don't need to get the rights to, like, I don't know, Hercules or whatever, is already a pinball machine. Mahi0 says, looks like currently Cameron JK, Eli Beatmaker, and Mr. Hardluck are playing Mario Kart with her right now. Awesome. Okay. ABJ says, I bet there's no Hermit-themed pinball machine yet. The thing is, Vintage Beef is already making a game this season themed on the Hermits. And he had that idea a long time ago, and he's been working on it really hard. So, I feel like... And also, like, part of the excuse of designing or picking a theme is it gives me an excuse to research something that I wanted to research anyway, right? And do a real deep dive on it to try to figure out how to make the machine reflect the topic. So I don't want to do a Minecraft theme or a HermitCraft theme, because I already do a bunch of Minecraft and HermitCraft stuff. I want to do something that's going to be an excuse to learn something different. And, like, not necessarily something new, but something maybe that I know a little bit about but would love to learn more. So that's just kind of my approach there. And there's the portal there. Andre says, how about the War of 1812? I don't really want to do anything that glorifies war. Like, I mean, if anything, the if I was going to do anything war related at all, it would probably be themed off of the Danes sabotaging the German occupation during World War II. Because having a sabotage-themed pinball machine would be interesting. The Danish resistance was very, very clever in a lot of ways, and they don't get enough credit for that. So that would... But I don't want to do anything that's, like, celebrating war itself. But even that, like, I feel like there's probably better ways to explore the concept of Danish resistance than a pinball machine. Phil Taylor says, I just clicked on this 1 hour stream, which YouTube said started 59 minutes ago. When is it starting? So we're actually going to be rating my friend NJ Coffee Junkie's birthday stream in about a minute. Once I need to make sure I got all these sponges found here. Oh, look, I'm not going to leave the nether to go get a tool that I forgot, okay? Yeah, Minecraft theme would be too vanilla. Yeah, okay. So like I said, we're going to go play Mario Kart live on NJ Coffee Junkie's charity stream for her birthday, benefiting the American Cancer Society. So even if you're like, oh no, I only get 1 minute of Minecraft, you get probably an hour or two of Mario Karts. Once we raid NJ. So, yeah, I haven't picked a theme yet. We have not picked a theme, but no, I don't want to do anything war related. So let's go ahead and land up here. And we are going to get... Hey, we got a tip rolling in from Alberic for 15. Thank you so much, Alberic. That is going to get us our first and only face camera expansion of the stream. Before we go, howdy y'all, Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. But like I said, we are going to go over to NJ Coffee Junkie's stream for her birthday. And I am going to join her to play Mario Kart live on voice chat. Let's go ahead and find that link for you here. Where's that link? Oh, wow. I am doing really bad at... Oh, here it is. NJ Coffee Junkie birthday celebration. Okay, so we're going to hit /raid. NJ Coffee Junkie. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Alrighty. So like I said, this is a charity birthday stream benefiting the American Cancer Society. I hope you come out and support American Cancer Society and wish NJ a happy birthday. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do-do-do-do.